One very cool thing about Genshin Impact is that you can turn any character in the game into your main damage dealer. It doesn't matter if that character was meant to be a healer, a shielder, a damage buffer, whatever. You can turn that character into a main DPS. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that it will be good, but it is an option that is available to you. Today, I will be using an anemo healer and turning her into my main damage dealer. What's up? My name is Sayu, and today I'm here to build a DPS Sayu. Yes, you did hear me correctly. Normally, you just use Sayu as an anemo support where you use the Viridescent artifact set and then you use her elemental burst to heal everybody. But that's not what we're doing here today, folks. I have been waiting for somebody to ask me this question. Somebody asked me to build DPS Sayu, and let me tell you, I am already prepared. I leveled up Sayu's elemental skill to the maximum talent many moons ago. Because let me tell you, I saw this elemental skill animation and I was like, wait a second, is that Sonic? Is that Sonic the Hedgehog right there? And in the past, I have tried multiple times to make DPS Sayu work. And we are going to give it another go today, but in all honesty, this is not a meta build. This is just me messing around. There's just no world where DPS Sayu can even come close to matching a DPS character like Arlecchino, Neuvillette, or Moika. But it is pretty fun. So let's go ahead and try this out. First, you will want to take Sayu up to level 90 because you will be using swirls, which is a transformative reaction, which is helped by leveling up your character. Next, you are definitely going to want something better than a Waster Greatsword level 1. So I think for DPS Sayu, you can just go with a standard 5-star Claymore stat stick, something like Verdict or whatever stat stick 5-star Claymore you happen to have. Or if you are a Giga Chad like me who got an R5 Serpent Spine specifically for Beto, you can just go ahead and use Serpent Spine. And as far as artifacts go, there are a couple different options that you have. A very obvious one would be Viridescent. And back when Sayu first dropped, this was the OG Teehee Funny team. And the reason for that being is because you would just do this, use Xiangling Burst, go ahead, get the Kai Burst going. And then you would have two forms of destruction just swirling around you as you danced around your opponent as the embodiment of Sonic the Hedgehog. And even to this day, this is still a pretty good team. It has pretty good AoE, but now we do have a character like Farina who can also help out because Kaya doesn't really provide enough cryo for Xiangling to be the one melting. And it's the same thing here with Farina. Farina can't really provide enough hydro for Xiangling to be the one causing the vaporizes. But Farina does give a damage bonus to the entire team, so that does in turn help out Sayu's damage. So you can go ahead and get this going, and then you can still go for Teehee haha. Wow, we're swirling around at the speed of sound. And you do a decent amount of damage, as you can see. But that is not it, folks. Look at how versatile Sayu is. You can also run Sayu in a Hyper Bloom team. And if you happen to swirl Electro off of Kuki Shinobu, Sayu will be the one proccing the Hyper Blooms, which in turn still does make her DPS Sayu. For this build, we are using an R5 Pain Slasher along with the Gilded Dreams artifact set. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if we can actually one-phase this guy. He's probably gonna go invisible because Hyperbloom teams are good because you are just doing ambient Hyperbloom damage while also doing damage on your own. Unfortunately, this team doesn't have just its own damage. The only damage on this team is from Hyperbloom, so I don't think that we can one-phase this. But I'm just saying this is an option. It is an option, you see? Look at this. You can do this. This is something you're able to do. We're applying Hydro here, and then we're proccing Hyperblooms. There's not that many Hyperblooms going off, but you can only proc 2 at a time anyways. You know what I'm saying? Oh, good lord. All right, do that to keep the jellyfish on longer. Do we do it? Okay, cool. And wow. Look at that. Absolutely slaying. Get him, Sayu. Hey, what can I say? I know. Sayu is a big deal. Does a lot of damage. So I have this feeling that this Taser team is about to do more damage. So let's just go ahead and try this out real quick.
You've been a naughty boy. Let the world come on. As you wish, me.
Is that doing anything for you? Is that doing anything for you, sir, Mr. Robot, sir? There it is. Okay, and yeah, that does way more damage than the Hyper Bloom team, actually. Wait, I just realized I built a Yumi Mizuki team. I literally just built a Mizuki team. That is what we just did here. Sayu, the superior Mizuki. What we are going to do is we're going to build Avatar Sayu. We're going to be doing a two-piece anemo damage bonus artifact set. It is now time to become Avatar Sayu. Water. Earth. Fire. Wait a second. And air. All right, let's get it. And then we just go around at the speed of sound. And we just completely demolish this thing. Oh god, this is so stupid. Yeah, I think we're hitting like 35k elemental skills there. Not too shabby.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Okay, so let's go ahead and test this team out. Let's see. With Yansan, we won't be stuck with Circle Impact, which will be kind of cool. $70k, okay. Okay, but hear me out. What if we just boosted the ever-living shit out of Sayu's attack? It sounds dumb, but I might be onto something. All right, let's get it. 15Ks? Okay, 50Ks on the roll? 94K elemental skill. 164K with nothing but 4-star characters. Let's get it. Let's go. I'm a little upset because a different damage number kind of popped up in front, so it's a little bit hard for me to see. But who cares? We did it. But unfortunately, I feel like that is the extent of the Sonic the Hedgehog playstyle for Sayu. But the thing is, none of those teams come even close to the true best version of DPS Sayu. And that is this team right here. Now, this team only works if you have C6 Bennett, because what Bennett's Constellation 6 does is that all sword, claymore, or polearm wielding characters gain a 15% pyro damage bonus, but also their weapons are infused with pyro. And that is why, while we are using this version of Sayu, we don't use Viridescent. We actually use Marashose, or we use Crimson Witch of Flames. Yo, Crimson Witch of Flames Sayu? What is he talking about? All right, so what we do is we use Farina's Elemental Burst, Bennett Burst, go into Shan Yun Burst. We Elemental Skill once to proc our Crimson Witch of Flames set. And then we were waiting for the Vaporize to happen, basically, or the Hydra to be applied. And then we come down, and then when we plunge inside of Bennett's Burst, we are actually doing pyro damage. And as you can see, we're actually doing like 94Ks, while our Sayu's talent is actually level 1. So I feel like that's pretty good. So if you were doing this playstyle, obviously you would want to level up Sayu's talent a little bit more, which we are going to be doing today. And unfortunately, that is as far as we go today. So now that we have Sayu at a talent level of 7, we are going to be using an R4 Fruitful Hook for this demonstration, and we're going to be using Marashose Hunter artifact set. We are at 29.5 over 193 crit damage, which actually end up being like 94% crit rate. So let's go ahead and give this a try. Go here, and then here, burst. Hopefully the chicken does not move. Oh crap, we need to wait. Oh, there it is. Boom. Okay, so it looks like we're hitting 99,000. Like very close to 100k plunges now. Wait, I forgot to check. Can we actually... Okay, so we can actually craft some. I forgot to check that. Alright, so now we have exactly enough to take Sayu's talent up to level 8. Judging by how much damage we are doing, I'm assuming that means that we're about to be able to do 100k now. Oh, there it is. 104k. That is a beefy Sayu right there. And just imagine if my Shan Yun was more invested, and if we had C2, if you got some money to throw around, probably 300k plunges. And just in case you were wondering what I was using for that, I was using an Elemental Mastery Sands, Pyro Damage Bonus Goblet, and a Crit Damage Circlet. You know, I was using Marashose for that demonstration, but I feel like Crimson Witch of Flames might still be a little bit better, even though we can't utilize all 3 stacks of this 4-piece over here. With Crimson Witch of Flames, we are still getting a 15% pyro damage bonus with just a 2-piece set. And then the 4-piece set increases vaporized damage by 15%. And then if we elemental skill once before the start of our rotation, we do get a 7.5% extra pyro damage bonus. So I do want to test this out. Let's see what happens if we make Crimson Witch of Flames Sayu. You never thought you would hear it before, but Crimson Witch of Flames might be Sayu's best artifact set if you are trying to specifically build Sayu as a DPS. Okay, boom. Here. And then I need 1 elemental skill and plunge. Okay, 106. 108? Wait a second, hold up. Pull up, what was the number? Pull up the max damage number I got against the Dendro Chicken with the Marishose artifact set. And then whatever I got right there. Okay, so I actually just double checked, and I do want to say Crimson Witch of Flames Sayu is the superior build. Because even though this Crimson Witch of Flames build is not that great, that's like 80-something% crit rate, 141 crit damage. Crimson Witch of Flames Sayu is still 4,000 damage better than Marishose. So honestly, not really a big difference, but it is still a difference. So yeah, DPS Sayu, I'm gonna be honest, not very good, especially the version where you're just rolling around. It doesn't do that much damage, but what's way more important is that on the fun scale, I would give it a 9 out of 10. Very fun just rolling around, especially if you get like a Kaya and a Xiangling burst going and you're just rolling around through enemies. It is very fun to do. But that is going to be all for today's video. If you watched the entire thing, thank you very much for watching. And just remember, you don't have to believe in yourself. Believe in me. Believe in the me that believes in you. And I'll see you in the next video.